It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time around we'll be talking with Sam Cox, who is a mayoral candidate for the city of Grinnell. We had quite an interesting conversation yesterday at Saint's Rest Coffee House, and she talks about her qualifications to become mayor of Grinnell and why she has such a passion for the city of Grinnell, and we'll get to that in just a moment. First of all, we want to mention our sponsors, including Grinnell State Bank, who had a big celebration of their 100 years of service to the city of Grinnell, and of course they branched out to other branches, and on their Facebook page they have congratulations to the winners of the giveaways for their Grinnell branch's 100 years celebration, and they have pictures of their winners with Darcy Dawson, Allison Jones, and Austin Jones on there too, and they had all kinds of pulled pork sandwiches and different things going on at their Grinnell branch too. And if you missed it, I had a great interview with Austin Jones about their 100 years of service at Grinnell State Bank. You can check that out on the Out and About with Jamie Grout website too. Austin and I go back for many years when the radio station and I would do market reports together, and I've gotten to know Austin over the years. The Jones family, a great family that owns a Grinnell State Bank and runs the bank and do a great job. And I interviewed Austin last year about his Ironman feats, and you should check out that podcast, and more importantly, you should check out Grinnell State Bank and all their fantastic services. Another great sponsor is B. Nicole Salon, which is in downtown Grinnell, right next to the Chamber of Commerce. I just got a great haircut yesterday, and of course, homecoming is coming up tonight in Grinnell, and they say, hey, all you cool cats and tigers, homecoming season is here. Get on in. It's not too late to get your homecoming hairdo taken care of by B. Nicole Salon. And don't forget, they have a big October special going on. It's a color special, 10% off color all throughout the month of October. Highlights and lowlights too there at B. Nicole Salon in downtown Grinnell. Head on in there and say hi to Brandy and tell them Jamie sent you. They have all kinds of great product for you too there at B. Nicole Salon in downtown Grinnell. It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and we're with mayoral candidate in Grinnell, Sam Cox. Sam, thanks for joining us today. Tell me about your background.
Hi, Jamie. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. So I grew up in Grinnell, Iowa. I'm the third of three daughters to Charles and Mary Barnum. So I grew up in a very blue-collar household. My parents were factory workers, and they raised me with an incredibly strong work ethic. If there was something that I wanted, I had to work for it. Not because, my parents were strict, and that was something that they intentionally did, because we didn't have a lot of money. And raising three kids in the 1960s and 70s was not always an easy task, as it isn't easy today. So watching them struggle to make ends meet and to bring things to our table and to bring things to our home really made me want to be as independent as I could, and also to be helpful so that they didn't feel the pressure of trying to provide everything for us. So that's something that I'm grateful for. And I went to school in the Grinnell-Newburgh School District. I graduated in 1987. Went to college for 2 years at Ellsworth Community College in Iowa Falls, graduated with an associate science degree from there, and then I started my working career. I went into the retail area, and about early 2000, I decided that it was time for me to come home. I was missing a lot of my kids' programs and activities, and I just really wanted to be more involved in their lives, and so I came back and started working in Grinnell.
And you obviously do have a good work ethic. You have a very successful business here at St. Rest's Coffee House. We're recording this here at St. Rest's. So that leads me to my next question. You do have a successful business here. Life seems to be pretty good for you right now, Sam. Why in the heck would you want to become mayor? You'd have to take on all the problems, get calls late at night about potholes in the street, and can you put a stop sign on my street, or the dogs are barking, or whatever the case might be. People have all kinds of complaints about a myriad of different subjects. Why would you want to take on some of these problems as mayor of Grinnell?
Well, I think I'm really fortunate because my business is in a stable, successful place. It took me, I worked morning, noon, and night for 7 years to get us where we are. So we are in our 14th year, so about halfway through. I started to get a little bit of freedom where I could be, out and about and take some time off. And so I thought, what an exciting opportunity, for me to be more involved in our community and also kind of be the face of our community. Like, the mayor position here is largely ceremonial. Like, I am the person that would run the meetings to make sure that they are fair and equitable and smooth sailing. We have a city manager, we have a city council, and so, my job is to fit into that mix, listen to those recommendations, and we actually only vote when there is a tie. So I just feel like this is a really wonderful, exciting opportunity to be part of Grinnell and part of the future of Grinnell, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that Grinnell has given me, and I think if I can do that for other people, then that's a pretty cool job.
What activities and organizations have you been involved in, Sam?
So, that's one of the parts where I'm probably going to look like, somebody who hasn't gotten out there and gotten the experience. Again, I'm going to push back and say that, I'm 56 years old. For the last 40 years of my life, I have been a blue-collar kid. I've been out there doing the work, whether it's one job, two jobs, three jobs. I am a wife and a mother. My husband is an Army veteran. We have 5 grown children, a myriad of household cats and dogs.
You and me too with the cats.
Yay! I love the animals. So I had been a member of Power Chic Leadership Group. I believe I was in the inaugural session of that, and that was a wonderful opportunity. I've been on a few committees kind of peppered through Grinnell in the last few years. They unfortunately usually meet midday, and midday I'm usually working. So I don't have a lot of experience as far as different activities in like the groups in Grinnell, Iowa. I simply am one of those people that have worked super hard my whole life to get to where I am. And I feel like that is something that is going to bring some worth to this position as well.
So, you do see a lot of people here at St. Rest, and you talk to a lot of citizens in Grinnell. What are some of the things that people are concerned about when you talk to them here at St. Rest?
When I'm in St. Rest, it ends up being a lot of small business conversations because I get a lot of people from the downtown environment. So everybody's very concerned with how do they stay afloat as a small business. Maybe they're interested in opening a small business. They see a small business that unfortunately might be leaving our community. So for me in the downtown area, we have lots of conversations about how we can continue to help the downtown area grow and thrive. I'm very fortunate to be able to watch the chamber and all the activities that they do in order to promote this area and all of those things, and I think they do an outstanding job. So I do have conversations with a lot of different people just on the street, whether it's about housing, whether it's about the quality of our roads, whether it's, they're disgruntled, as you said, about something geographically located in Grinnell, or the fact that maybe they feel like Grinnell isn't doing enough in a certain area. So I do have a lot of those conversations, and I feel like I'm definitely an approachable person and would make time for a lot of different conversations.
And that leads me to my next question. I've talked to a few people in Grinnell about the former GTE building, which has been leveled, and I hear it's a bit of an eyesore. What do you see for the future of that area?
So I live up in that area. I live up on Spencer Street, just south of 11th, so I do a lot of walking in our neighborhoods. So that has been designated as a development site. There's a contractor who's purchased property on the 11th Ave area, and they're going to be building twin homes. There are going to be lots for sale to the public and also contractors. So I think it'd be really great to have like a smaller kind of intimate development up there that has like a small park area for just the community to be able to enjoy that space. So I mean, I think what they're doing with it seems like something that can be very viable for us. And I think the frustration comes from the eyesore that it is right now. And I know that the city realizes that they need to do more about enforcing the people that are currently working on it to do a better job of maintaining it so it doesn't look quite as bad as it does right now.
When you talk to people outside the Grinnell area about Grinnell, what do you express to them as to what the benefits are of living in good old Grinnell, Iowa?
Well, I'm pretty fortunate to be where I'm at because I see a lot of new people that come in our doors, whether they're visiting from the college or they're visiting for an interview or they're at the hotel on their way through. So the first thing that I tell the parents of the college students that are coming here is that your kids are going to be safe here. Like, we have a beautiful community. You don't have to be super fearful of them walking from point A to point B. Like, we are kind of just a nice place for your kids to spend the next 4 years of their life. And, I think you can feel good about that when you walk away. I pretty much always tell them that if they need something, they can call the shop, because as a shop mom, I adopt a lot of college students and a lot of my employees, and I'm just here to make sure that they're okay and that they're safe and to support them, in that period of their life. Other people that I meet, we talk about like how conveniently located Grinnell, Iowa is, how scenic Grinnell, Iowa is, what a lovely community this is to raise your children, what a great school district we have. So we talk a lot about those different opportunities, like for the younger families that are moving in. As you know, we have a large retirement population. I'm just a few blocks from Mayflower, and I think a great opportunity for them, a lot of walkable areas, easy to walk downtown, very convenient. A lot of their needs are met within our community as well. So I just think that we are honestly just the quintessential picturesque small town that is just a wonderful place for everybody.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, the mayor's position in Grinnell is mostly ceremonial.
Right.
However, let's say that you have a tie-breaking vote when it comes to budget, and you want to cheerlead for the budget to go to a certain area of Grinnell. What would you like the budget to go to, and what would you cheerlead for in terms of budgetary discretion for the city of Grinnell?
I think the budget in Grinnell, Iowa is ever changing. I think every year there's a different scenario, and that's brought to our attention by the city employees, by the people in the community, by the city manager. So there are a lot of people out there with a lot more knowledge than myself who are monitoring the needs of Grinnell. So I would say, every quarter, every half year, every year, those needs are constantly going to change. And that's why, the sales tax that we're looking at, the lost sales tax, is so important for us to keep maintaining like those projects throughout our year. So I can't say that I'm going to cheerlead for a department or a project. I can say that I'm going to take the information that I'm given. I'm going to think about it very carefully. I'm going to ask the right questions. And then if I'm needed to make the right decision, I'll make a decision based on those things.
And we kind of touched on this briefly in some of the other subjects that we talked about, but how do you feel about the future economy of Grinnell? You optimistic about that, or you worried about it?
Gosh, it's a mixed bag, right? As a small business owner, I think we can definitely tell that there is a difference in the economy that we live in right now. I would like to think that Grinnell is in a fairly good place in conjunction with like maybe where some other smaller towns are. So I think we're pretty fortunate that we've got a few new businesses coming in. And those are, going to help us grow a little bit. I know we've got open storefronts downtown. And so what can the community do? What can the city do to encourage new businesses? We just had 2 new businesses open up around the corner. Right. So I guess I feel kind of sort of optimistic. Like, I can tell you how my business is doing. And while we're not in a growth pattern right now, we're holding steady. And I feel like that's good for us. Like, we're not going to get to grow every year, but hopefully, we can at least hold steady and not lose ground. So I think we have to focus on how do we attract more businesses to employ more of our community members so that we can keep the economy moving forward.
And I work at WHO in the morning, and I answer the switchboard and send the calls on through to the hosts. And it's kind of sad because there are people who call up and talk about property taxes, and especially people that are elderly and are on fixed incomes. and they're in tears because they're worried about losing their homes due to property taxes. Uh, what's your take on that, and is there anything that the city can do to try to help in that situation?
I mean, I think as a homeowner in Grinnell, Iowa, I look at my property taxes and I understand that we might be maybe higher than people would like them to be, maybe higher than some of the surrounding communities that we have. But they also provide a lot of wonderful services for us that we definitely need. Case in point, you and I just talked about my morning and how chaotic that was, and we needed to use those services this morning for a family member, just like in a scary kind of situation. So without those services, right, I think we would be in a much worse place. And so I can't tell you, what the current plan is in place as far as if taxes are going to be going up. But the city of Grinnell only gets so many of those taxes. Like, also, they're going to go to the state, they're going to go to the county, they're going to go to our schools. Like, we, of course, always want to invest in our schools in order to make sure that, we're going to keep moving forward. And that's something that attracts people to our community as well and keeps them in our community. So I can't speak to, being able to lower people's taxes. That's not a decision that I'm going to be able to make by myself. I can't speak to whether those are going to be going up because, again, that's not a current position that I hold. But I can say as a member of our community, I do appreciate the services that we have and what our city provides for us. And I can certainly share in people's frustrations because we are all living on a budget. And we have to do everything we can. And I think talking about the elderly, in our community, I think Grinnell is trying to do more to make things more affordable. And I would say that everybody needs to reach out to all the services that are available to them to make sure that they're getting all the help that they can get in order to make sure that their life is, as economically feasible as it can be.
Okay, we have just a few seconds left. Why should people vote for you?
Gosh. Well, first of all, I'd love to meet you. Please come in and meet me. Please stop me on the street. Please stop me anywhere. I am, for lack of a better word, I'm a spark plug. I'm a little Energizer bunny. Like, I am continually on the move. I don't stop moving. I work really hard, and I promise you that I will bring that to the table. Like, if you have a conversation with me, I'm assuring you that I will take that conversation to the people that need to hear it. I'm not always going to be able to make things happen that you want to happen, but I will always be honest and straightforward, and I will tell you that I took that conversation to where it needed to go, and I will come back to you and tell you how we're trying to work through it. So I am accessible, I am trustworthy, I have integrity. Like, I am here for the long haul, and I want to be the next mayor.
Sam Cox, candidate for mayor in Grinnell. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.